ground, so slight worry about the rain, softened conditions. 7 to 1 for number 9 Trolleys for Simon Crisford and James Doyle. And Trolleys, good return back on these shores, having been plying its trade in Maidan when it was third to Ebury at Ascot last time. Finishing a place behind Tulfaris, in fact. And one or two others to mention. Sheikh Hamdan's runners are going really well. Jim Crowley then will be on board Sarwar for Owen Burrows. It's got the blinkers on for the first time as it bids to recapture some of last season's form, notably when it was a winner over a mile at Newmarket last September. And it's 10 to 1 and bigger for the rest of them. So our first port of call then will be Ascot for the 2 o'clock race. Join us near the time for an update on the betting and, of course, commentary. A busy afternoon in store then, and indeed evening. We've got Southall starting at 5:25. More on that later. But a busy afternoon, as I say, and the principal meeting is on the flat at Ascot. The going is now soft all round at Ascot this afternoon. However, just the one runner so far, and that's in the 3:10 race, number 1 Greenside, doesn't go. The feature race on the card, the London Metric Noel Merlis Stakes, the listed race over a mile and 3/4 at 2:35, been won by some good sorts in the past. Have gone on to greater glory. We've got the jumpers in action at Fontwell and Hexham. Now, Hexham starts at 2:15. The going is now soft, heavy in places, so the rain has come back, and we were looking a little earlier, very, very misty at the moment. Difficult to actually see over on the far side of the track at Hexham this afternoon. Non-runner-wise, in the 4 o'clock number 4, Meldrum Lad doesn't go, and in the 5:05 numbers 1 for Jim and 3 go to courts. We've also got action down in Sussex of Fontwell. They've got 6 races as well, and the going there remains good to soft in places. Action starts at 2:25. A few absentees in the 3 o'clock numbers 2, Guardia Top, and 4, Mildine Felix. In the 4:10 number 6, Highgrove Percy, and in the 5:15 number 1, Graceful Legend doesn't go. As I say, we will be starting proceedings, though, at Ascot this afternoon. The first race is due off at 2 o'clock. Classified stakes over a mile on the straight course. Roger Charlton's team in really good form at the moment, and he and Jason Watson teaming up with Herculean for Enables owner, of course, Khalid Abdullah. And Herculean, well, it has won on soft ground at Ascot in the past, which is good news. They did one on the all weather.
This event will start in 60
August,
seconds.
and was second prize to that behind Rise Hall at Newmarket. But well fancied today. Currently round about 5 to 2 in the betting. Tulfaris for Charlie Fellows and Stevie Donahoe. It was a good second here last time out. Bounced back actually from a poor run at Thirsk the time before, but that was on faster ground, so slight worry about the rain, softened conditions. 7 to 1 for number 9 Trolleys for Simon Crisford and James
This
Doyle.
event starts in 30 seconds.
Good return back on these shores, having been plying its trade in Maidan when it was third to Ebury at Ascot last time. Finishing a place behind Tulfaris, in fact. And one or two others to mention. Sheikh Hamdan's runners are going really well. Jim Crowley then will be on board Sarwar for Owen Burrows. It's got the blinkers on for the first time as it bids to recapture some of last season's form, notably when it was a winner over a mile at Newmarket last September. And it's 10 to 1 and bigger for the rest of them. So our first port of call then will be Ascot for the 2 o'clock race. Join us near the time for an update on the betting and, of course, commentary. Yeah, so as you rejoin us, the runners have, in fact, just reached the start. There were a couple of stragglers just going down, so let's update you with the betting again. And, well, Roger Charlton's team have been in fine form, 6 or 7 winners from his past 18 or so runners, and they won this race 12 months ago as well, with a horse called Blue Mist. So Herculean has been well tipped up today. It is the 15 to 8 favourite now. It was 5 to 2 when we did the preview earlier, so it has been steadily backed. In fact, that's gone now 7 to 4 for Herculean. Tulfaris next on 4 to 1. It is then 8 to 1 Lush Life. Trolleys 9 to 1. Sarwash is 10s along with Target Zone. Mr. Top Hat 14 to 1 with Fox Leicester. Master Wild 25s and Model Guest on 50 to 1. So soft ground at Ascot today, so it'll take some getting, obviously, with the stiff finish that they have. This is on the straight track, but Herculean has won in soft ground before, of course. Generally goes off as a fancy contender. Is always favourite, Herculean. It doesn't always, obviously, deliver the goods. but you can't argue with the form of the stable at the moment. And Jason Watson, of course, has been on fire since he came back, winning a group race over in Germany the other Sunday as well, just for good measure. This is a horse's last victory, came on fast ground, the Pontefract. That was in July of last year. I suppose that would be the slight worry there. And as I say, it has won on soft, but been campaigned on good ground of late, and over 1.25 miles, dropping back to a mile for the first time for a long time now, since last May, Herculean. So at the odds, you've got to maybe look for something to take it on with. Charlie Fellows got his string in good form. Tull Farris got a pretty solid record this year. Didn't run too well at Thirsk. Not sure what was up there, but it kept on well for second in a similar event over the course and distance 4 weeks ago. And Trollius ran in that race as well 28 days ago and was just behind in third place. So it wouldn't be too much really between them two. And if you go with that, well, Trollius is a much bigger price as well at 10 to 1. Runners are still just circling about down there at the start. We know from past experience at Ascot that they do tend to take their time getting them in. So hopefully it won't be too long then before we get proceedings underway.
Yes, the runners are running late here for the first at Ascot, but they are just starting to load it now. And Herculean being well supported, 15 to 8, having opened up at 5 to 2. Tull Farris then, and that one's pretty solid. 4 to 1 chance. Charlie Fellows trains this Zoffany colt, Stevie Donahoe on board. Lush Life is 8 to 1. That also pretty solid. There's not been much happening. Trollius is drifting. A Simon Crisford runner. That's up from 7s out of 10s, and otherwise just a very solid on Herculean. Runners going in, and
this
I
event
think
has been suspended. This
last one
event
about
is
to load
now
is
in play.
indeed Lush Life. And in fact, it's not quite the last. Fox Leicester will complete the line, doing so now, and they are all set then for the opener, where they go over the straight mile here. And I'm jumping out. Doesn't seem as if anyone's that keen to lead. Herculean is right towards the centre and is just about the overall leader in the early stages. Sawar and Jim Crowley, they look like they're going to plough a lone furrow towards the stand side. The rest all coming to follow Herculean down the centre. So it is Herculean leading the way to Mr. Top Hat, who shows in second place, and then Mostawar towards the far side. These three are being followed then by Tull Farris. Sawar still races all on its own towards the stand side, having come out of stall number 9, and now 1 or 2 are tracking across towards Sawar, who is the overall leader. Tull Farris has gone that way into second place, and also tracking across towards that far side then is just behind these target zone to the stand side, just moving to the front. Mostawar, they've gone through the halfway, they're starting to really gallop now. Mr. Top Hat follows these, and Herculean, and then comes Trollius, but it's Sawar with the overall advantage as they head down inside the final quarter mile now, being pressed now by Tull Farris, who's just switched towards the centre. In the centre, Mostawar is right there. Herculean's under pressure, doesn't look like winning at the moment. Model Guess coming there quite strongly, and to the far side, Trollius, but Sawar still with the lead as they head down towards the distance, pressed all the time by Tull Farris, not really picking up or quickening his Model Guess, sticking on Trollius. But into the final furlong, Sawar pressed doggedly by Tull Farris. There's very little to choose between them. They look to have it between them. Sawar rallying to the near side, may just about got his head back in front. Sawar from Tull Farris, who's edging back again. Sawar just beats Tull Farris.